On the 7th of September, 1191, one of the most pivotal battles of the Third Crusade unfolded near the coastal town of Arsuf. Under the leadership of England's King Richard I, the Crusader forces achieved a decisive victory against the Ayyubid Sultanate, commanded by the formidable Saladin. This battle, a testament to strategy and determination, occurred after the Crusaders had captured Acre earlier that year, a move that forced Saladin to intercept Richard's army as it marched toward the critical port city of Jaffa. Following the fall of Acre, Richard recognized the importance of securing Jaffa as a launch point for any future assault on Jerusalem. Thus, in August 1191, he began a meticulously planned march along the coast. The sea protected the Crusader army's right flank, while their left faced the open plains, prime territory for Saladin's cavalry raids. Having learned from the catastrophic defeat at the Battle of Hattin just a few years earlier, Richard prioritized his army's access to water and protection from the oppressive heat. He organized a disciplined column, 12 cavalry regiments, each with 100 knights, formed the core of the force, while infantry units, crossbowmen and spearmen, provided a defensive shield. A baggage train, escorted by rested infantry, followed close behind, while the Crusader fleet paralleled their march, supplying provisions and offering refuge for the wounded. This formation ensured the army's resilience against continuous harassment by Saladin's forces, who relied on mobility and hit-and-run tactics. As the Crusaders advanced, the Ayyubid cavalry launched frequent skirmishes, aiming to weaken their cohesion. By early September, Saladin understood that intermittent attacks were insufficient to halt the Crusaders. He prepared for a full-scale engagement, planning to use the dense wood of Arsuf to mask the movements of his 25,000-strong army. His forces consisted primarily of cavalry, including skilled horse, archers, light cavalry, and heavily armored Mamluks, drawn from across the Ayyubid domains. In contrast, Richard commanded approximately 10,000 infantry, including spearmen and crossbowmen, supported by 1,200 heavily armored knights As the Crusader army departed their camp on the morning of September 7th, enemy scouts signaled the proximity of Saladin's main force. Richard arranged his column with precision. The vanguard was led by the Knights Templar under Robert de Sablé, while the rear was secured by the Knights Hospitaller, commanded by Garnier de Nablus. Richard himself positioned the military orders, renowned for their discipline, at the most vulnerable points of the formation to repel potential breakthroughs. Saladin's initial strikes came from Bedouin and Nubian infantry, who unleashed a volley of arrows and javelins before retreating to make way for mounted archers. These relentless attacks aimed to break the Crusaders' formation, but Richard's troops held firm, with crossbowmen returning fire when possible. When skirmishes failed to produce significant results, Saladin concentrated his attacks on the Crusader rearguard, particularly targeting the Hospitallers. Under immense pressure, the Hospitaller Knights endured intense fighting, their crossbowmen gradually losing cohesion as enemy cavalry pushed closer. Realizing the dire situation, Garnier de Nablus requested Richard's permission to counterattack. Initially, Richard withheld consent, determined to launch a coordinated assault at the right moment. However, amid escalating pressure, the Hospitaller Marshal, along with Baldwin Le Caron, took matters into their own hands. Defying orders, they charged, rallying their knights with cries of "Saint George." The sudden Hospitaller charge threatened to disrupt Richard's strategy, but recognizing the opportunity, he swiftly ordered a full-scale counterattack. The entire Crusader line surged forward, transforming from a defensive stance to an aggressive assault. The sudden Hospitaller charge threatened to disrupt Richard's strategy, but recognizing the opportunity, he swiftly ordered a full-scale counterattack. The entire Crusader line surged forward, transforming from a defensive stance to an aggressive assault. Muslim chronicler Baha al-Din later described the Ayyubid forces as being thrown into complete disarray. Saladin's personal guard was reduced to a few loyal men, highlighting the devastating impact of the Crusader assault. As the Crusaders regrouped, Richard orchestrated a final charge that dispersed Saladin's remaining troops into the surrounding woods and hills. The Ayyubid army suffered severe casualties, including the loss of 32 emirs and an estimated 7,000 soldiers. Crusader losses were relatively light, reported at fewer than 700. That evening, Richard led his victorious forces to Arsuf, where they secured their camp and salvaged valuables from the battlefield. The battle not only crushed Saladin's immediate plans, but also elevated Crusader morale and reshaped the strategic balance in the Holy Land. Though the Crusaders did not retake Jerusalem, the victory at Arsuf underscored Richard's tactical brilliance. The battle's legacy endured, influencing subsequent engagements and leading to the Treaty of Jaffa, which ensured Christian pilgrims safe access to Jerusalem. The Battle of Arsuf remains a testament to the resilience, strategy, and determination of both Crusader and Ayyubid forces, encapsulating the complexities of medieval warfare during the Third Crusade.